On the banks of the St. Lawrence River, the legendary circuit.
Well, gentlemen, start your engines, get your motor running. Montreal is set to host another edition of the Canadian Grand Prix this weekend with Max Verstappen looking to get another championship title. For more on how you can catch all the action and the action itself, we're joined by former professional racing driver and TSN's auto racing reporter Tim Hauraney live in Montreal this morning. Tim, great to talk to you. Let's start off here with the Red Bull's dominance going into F1 weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they've been absolutely flying lately, and they've built an incredible car. I mean, getting the opportunity to sit down and speak with Max Verstappen yesterday and just learning a bit more about how much work actually has gone into making this car, it makes you appreciate it even that much more. And on top of that, I mean, Verstappen's just driving at such a high level, and you know, there are some points this season where I don't even think that he's been really even pushed, where he's had to unlock like a lot of his own potential. I think maybe we saw some of that in Monaco, Q3, but outside of that, I mean, yeah, it's just he still has another level that he can actually access within himself, I believe. If someone even tries to push him this weekend. So it'll be interesting to see. I mean, and also with the weather. I mean, it's a little gloomy here today on Friday, but as we get deeper into the weekend, if the rain starts to come, I mean, we'll see if that shakes the field up a bit.
I mean, to think of Verstappen having another gear, that is just hard to even fathom, especially for the other racers. So let's, Tim, talk about the Canadians. Of course, Lance Stroll's in the field. What are the pressures for Lance Stroll of not only trying to defeat Verstappen, who is performing at such a high level, but also racing at home?
Yeah, for sure. And I think like as a driver, you know, I remember racing in this race, you know, myself, and also, you know, the Toronto Indy at the same time. And it was a lot of, you know, outside pressure, because when you're racing around the world, you get more, you know, media exposure when you come home. You have more sponsorship obligations. You have a lot more things going on off of the racetrack, and that adds another layer of demand to your time, your schedule, but I mean, also at the same time, the pressure, and how do you deal with that pressure? And as a racing driver, you know, you have to try and find ways of snapping in and out of performance and focus and getting into the car. And so I think for Lance, that's the type of stuff that he really thrives off of. I mean, I've been covering Lance. I've known Lance for really long time, and I always notice whenever he comes home or he races in Canada, he's always extremely competitive in the races, which shows that he's able to deal with the pressure, or he likes the pressure. Going up against, you know, the Red Bulls and stuff like that, I mean, it could be a different story for Aston Martin, but they are competing very well this season. They have brought an upgrade for this weekend, which is important for their car because it started to kind of look like it stalled out a bit there at the Spanish Grand Prix. So I don't know. It'll be interesting to see what happens on Saturday. I hope it rains, because Lance is always great in the rain. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, maybe a Canadian gets on the podium this weekend.
Well, that would certainly be good to see. That is TSN's auto racing reporter Tim Hauraney live in Montreal. Appreciate you teeing up the F1 there. Have a great weekend, Tim. I'm sure you'll enjoy it, and we'll enjoy watching it on TSN. Have a good one.